Autism. Autism is one of a group of disorders known as autism spectrum disorders, ASD.
Be the first to respond. Autism to awesome. Be the first to respond. Autism to awesome. 911, what's your emergency? It's urgency. My child been diagnosed with ASD.
Do notice that fathers tend to keep information to themselves, where women are more open, talking to their friends about it, talking about what's going on in their life, and working through it. So I would like to see more fathers, which there are some great fathers out there doing great things. I just want to get more and more fathers on board, just being involved every day and just making the most, because there are some doing good jobs. Just want to bring the rest of them along as well. I think it'll make for a stronger community.
Kerry, you are just phenomenal in so many ways. And once again, congratulations with all that you've done with Max.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I want to ask you something. With your insight, your exposure, your influence, etc. Every time you talk, I'm thinking more avenues or more tentacles for your book. I heard you just speak about men. I heard you speak casually about education and the school system. You have a law enforcement background. You have international exposure. Those are 4 markets right there.
Right.
If you were to tackle 1, 2, 3, 4, I mean, you don't have to do it all today. But if you were to tackle 1 and 2 or whatever, I mean, gosh, I just see so many things. What would you say would be a top priority, and how would you get there, or what would you do, or the people who are listening, how can they help you?
Right. My thing, top priority for me, when I look at building a strong family, having a strong community, I want to be in touch with the families. And being able to be in touch with the family, the people that have the contact with the families, definitely the schools, and it's definitely, the church, especially the churches in the Black communities. I want to be able to talk directly to the parents saying, listen, there is hope. There is a way to go about, handling a situation. If your child is on the spectrum, there are resources out there. There are things that you can do at home. So the ones who are looking to help are the ones that are in the community every day. When they start out at the elementary schools, I want to find these families that are dealing with it early on. But I'm not excluding families that's been dealing with it for also 5 years, 10 years as well. But the earlier we can start, in my opinion, it's better. So I'm looking for the people in the church community. I'm looking for the ones in the schools. I'm looking for, and it's through word of mouth. I mean, the book is great, but it's still, social media is great, but it's still the best advertising, the best avenue is word of mouth. Someone telling someone else that, hey, I read this book. I think you should read it. So my thing is to get directly in contact with the families. I mean, those larger organizations, it's great, but I like working with people. I mean, I like working with people, and then they go on to share what they have learned, from me, and then I can share what I have learned from them as well. So I want to get in direct contact with the people, and that's in the people that are in the community.
But this is phenomenal. Once again, like I said, what you have and what you're bringing to the table is so powerful and so influential, and just the opportunity, even in speaking at churches, you may be speaking to the members who have autism, but guess what you're also speaking to? You're speaking to their support system.
Right.
Because it's one thing for me to know, but if the people around me have a completely different vision, it's like a house of den. It's not going anywhere.
Right.
So just impactful. If you could give us one word of advice right now, one word of advice to, I'm going to say the caregiver, and then one word of advice to the community or the support group, what would you say? I'm sorry, I forgot to preface that, about perception. Perception. When you hear the word autism, what's one word you would give to the caregiver, and then what's one word that you would give to the supportive community? And I don't mean literally one word. You can use 2 or 3.
It goes back to me. It goes back to the foundation, which is actually 3 words.
Okay.
Actually, it would be 3 words: to rethink, reimagine, and recondition. What I find a lot of times is people do have this misconception about autism, whether you're in the profession or not in the profession. We only can teach what we have learned, but we have to be open to learn additional information. We have to be open to learn from different people experiences as well. I mean, one of the first doctors that we had, he had his own condition about autism. I mean, he literally told us, prepare your child, you know, for a group home. My son was 3. I said, listen, I want to be able to do my best for him. If it ended up being a group home and I've done my best, I understand. I learned as much as I learned, and I took him as far as I could go. I understand that part. But I'm like, doctor, you're the medical profession. Help me out here. He's only 3 years old. So I just, as a family, we decided to go in a different direction. We decided to rethink, reimagine, and recondition what we did and didn't know about autism. And we started finding individuals, doctors, people in support groups that were farther along in the journey than we were. And they had already rethought, reimagined, and reconditioned, you know, their perception about autism. And so that's what we were able to do. Is you can't have this blanket statement thinking that, oh, this is autism. Maybe, maybe not. You have to be open. You have to be able to rethink, reimagine, and recondition.